Hey YouTube, P.O.D. 7 here. I'm here. I'm not dead. Um, just been sick as a dog. Um, I mean, to the point where I can't even remember 4 out of 7 days last week because I was sleeping so much. Um, it was some kind of like, it wasn't really a flu because I wasn't stuffed up and snotty and sore throat and all that, but I just felt like I couldn't move. And I couldn't keep my eyes open for more than 10 minutes at a time, it felt like. So I didn't get to drive anywhere, pretty much. And yeah, it was kind of scary. I fell asleep at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon one day, and I woke up at 5 the next day, like 5 a.m. Went up and went to the bathroom and came back and slept for like another 4 hours. So I think I'm pretty much over it now. Um, uh, yeah, these are this and I think I recorded 3 more. I just didn't feel like talking, man. I was so sleepy and such a dark place because of stuff I'm not even gonna bother talking about. But I just really did not want to talk. I just wanted to focus on playing. Um, so um, yeah. This is going to be in 720 uh, definition because it's quicker to export and hopefully quicker to render and upload. um, if your elven eyes can discern the difference between 720 and 1080 on my videos, then good on ya. And I'll go back if it's really that necessary. But otherwise, it's going to be 720 for a while. Um, Gosh, I don't even know what I want to talk about now. Now that I'm doing it in post. Uh, Kind of a setback on the BioWare series. Um, I thought I had like a huge stack of DVD-Rs, which is part of my ghetto way of recording, and it turns out I only have 4 that are usable because a bunch of them got scratched up or were used for like 5 minutes for some reason, and they're not rewritable. So uh, until I can figure something out, uh, I can get 4 hours worth on the recording on the highest definition that my DVD recorder can record. It'll be an hour per DVD. So um, I might just go ahead and do it. I might. I was listening to music when I was playing, so um, yeah, I might do. I really don't want to do a shorthand version of Mass Effect, but I just might have to. I might have to end up doing it since that's the only way I can record. But who knows? Um, there should be some more FTL upcoming. Uh, Hunt for Gems really comes down to if I feel like being silly for 20 minutes most of the time. I really like the way the Dark Alliance video came out, even though it was way too long. I didn't realize I'd been playing for an hour. That's why it was sped up a lot in places. Um, that actually got copyright flagged, or third party flagged, so I'm not getting any ad sales off of it, but like that matters when you have 50 subs. But I just thought it was weird because it was for uh, a song I used from Mass Effect 3, and apparently the copyrights go through a different company other than EA, which is really funny considering the special edition, collector's edition copy of the Mass Effect 3 soundtrack is basically an archived zip file with no DRM on any of the files. So it's like they're not expecting to make any money off of it, but they still have it registered with YouTube for some reason. It's very strange. Most of the other music was either from iLife on Mac. Let's see, iLife, iDVD, or Super Mario Galaxy. That's what the boss fight music was from. So, I think most of what I did during this particular set of recording was just go through the mines, picking up iron and stuff. So, not much to talk about. I think there was one where I went exploring, like outside of my house. Don't remember if it's this one or not, but we'll see. Man, I'm still so foggy and stuff from sleeping so much and taking NyQuil and all that. I could barely think. There was a lot of Mass Effect 3 multiplayer going on while I was sick, which was horrible because I would fall asleep during some matches. And I would wake up and people would be reviving me just over and over again. So I guess I was kind of helping them farm first aid medals, I guess. Which, man, those challenges, the challenge points on there are ridiculous. Like, points achieved is, I think, 25 million or something like that. And for a guy that does pretty good on bronze, I mean, I get second or first most of the time. It's going to take forever. I mean, that's like 38,000 on average per game, I think. So, yeah, it will take forever. So I guess I'll have to start moving up to silver at least. Gold, unless somebody wants to carry me through the entire match, is probably not going to happen, and I can pretty much guarantee platinum will never happen. Because I am terrible enough as it is at gold. I can't even imagine what platinum is like. And it really makes you feel like crap when you go on YouTube and there's like a 12-minute run on a Firebase White, just a solo run on platinum against the Reapers or something. It's just so ridiculous. I mean, a gold map. The last time I played a gold map, we made it to wave 10, and there's 11 waves, and that took an hour, and we all died on the last wave. It was so frustrating. But you still got more money and points and experience than any silver victory. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I guess there is a challenge for just completing waves in gold and platinum. Maybe I could complete the first wave of both of those, 500 times or however many times you have to do it. I think it's 100, but some of my friends, like I have 491 maybe points. I can't remember challenge points, and some of the people in my friends list has like 9,000 points, and that's like chump change. Because some of the people I play with have like 25,000, 32,000. It's ridiculous. Definitely some diehards playing Mass Effect multiplayer. I also got Jade Empire off of Xbox Live, which is a BioWare game, and Knights of the Old Republic on Steam, which I started up, which is BioWare's, breakout hit. Besides Neverwinter, but not a lot of people consider that their breakout game, as far as I can tell. So I think I'm gonna try to play through Knights of the Old Republic first, and then Jade Empire, and then I can say I've played pretty much every BioWare game, except for they did like a Sonic the Hedgehog game on the Game Boy, or maybe it was Nintendo DS. I'm not sure, but for some reason they did like a Sonic Rush adventure or something like that, and yeah, I'm pretty bad at Sonic 1 and 2, and I actually like those games, so I can't even imagine how complicated something on the DS would be. I'm pretty sure I played all the Baldur's Gate series that they did. I don't know if Neverwinter Nights 2 counts, because I think it just used the Aurora engine for dialogue. I don't think BioWare actually did anything on it. But I don't know, I'd have to check. I played Neverwinter a long time ago, like when it was first coming out. And it was on my cousin's PC, so played it for like 30 minutes, I imagine. But it was fun. I had no idea what I was doing, but it was fun. What else? I'm trying to think of stuff to update on. It feels like I've been gone forever, but I think it's only been maybe a week since I posted a video. I don't know, it's so hard to... Time is so relative. I really don't want to get into that right now. I haven't really watched many movies lately. There's a lot of movies out right now that I actually want to watch, but when you don't have money, you just kind of forget about going to see movies. And then you drive by a theater and it's like Hobbit, Django Unchained, and Zero Dark 30. You're all out at the same time. And there was a fourth one that I can't remember what it was. I don't know. It was probably some other action movie. Um, hmm. Not Jack Reacher. That just looks like a really lame Bourne trilogy ripoff, even though I know it's based off of a book that came out long before the Bourne trilogy, probably. But in the same vein, that could be like Jack Ryan or whatever the guy's name is in all the Tom Clancy movies. So I don't know. I know they liked one of those. My brain is coming up short today. Well, we're going outside. That's a good sign. The wheat actually planted. We got a chest, I believe, earlier in this video, and it had pumpkin seeds and melon seeds, which was pretty cool. There's me listening to some music. I believe... Oh, feels like I was listening to Rage Against the Machine at the time. Calm Like a Bomb, probably. I really like the Battle of Los Angeles, or For Los Angeles, whatever it's called. But pretty much anything else by them I stay away from. I don't know. It just sounds... That record just sounds like the perfect record from them, and everything else has just been kind of lackluster. Kind of like P.O.D, the band that I named this channel after. I've listened to some of their more recent stuff lately, like since New Testament or something like that. Whichever one came with like a demo of Res for whatever reason, and the one that Katy Perry was credited as Kate Hudson on there, Katie Hudson, for Goodbye for Now. And besides that song, everything else has been so terrible. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like P.O.D to begin with, but I'm telling you guys, there's a song by them now on iTunes. If you go into their 69-cent hit songs, there's actually one that says #1 songs, and I can't believe this was a #1 song, but it was called Live Forever, and I couldn't even believe it was them. It was so mixed down and so, I don't know, maybe it was my headphones or something, but it was so just, it felt like they put a lot of effort into it, and then the studio just was like, let's scrub some of the dirt off of all the rough edges, let's sand it down, and just made a nice pop-friendly fake hard rock sound to it. It was really bad. Like if Nickelback decided to do a metal album, that's probably what it would sound like. And that breaks my heart, considering P.O.D was my favorite band for like 6 years. So, yeah, I just had to go back and listen to Brown and Fundamental Elements of Southtown. Oh, I know exactly what was going on here. It just popped in my head. My iTunes shuffled to the Humpty Hump, or the Humpty Dance by Digital Underground, right after Rage Against the Machine. So, that should give you a small look into the range of my iTunes. It's kind of crazy. I figured our generation, my generation, I guess I should say, would be a lot more open to music of all kinds. But the more and more I talk to people about music, the more it seems like I'm a freak in some kind of way. And like some friends, I'll say I like DMX. Oh, I didn't know you were into rap. And then they go through, a million people that I've never heard of. It's like, no, man, I just like DMX. I like DMX, Dr. Dre, Public Enemy, and Scrub Club Records, and Ravine. I'm trying to think of rap I like. Some of Busta Rhymes' older stuff was pretty good. I never really liked Beastie Boys. I mean, you go through that phase in middle school, and it's over, pretty much. Um, some of Eminem stuff, I'm not a huge fan because he sounds exactly the same in pretty much every song. And a lot of his recent stuff is pretty much, I'm an angry white guy and I'm doing the angry white guy because I know it sells. And it's always that same half yelling tone that he raps with now, instead of doing some of the more funny martial rapping. At least from what I've heard. I mean, the only songs I've heard recently by him are Love the Way You Lie or whatever it is, which was just awful. And the music video is so stupid, but and that other one that's like, I'm not afraid to take a stand. everybody, everybody. It's like, wow. What happened to stuff like Mosh and Deer Stand and all that stuff? But I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of his to begin with. So I had the Kid Rock phase, as most people do when they're in their teens, you know. Some of his slower stuff now is okay, but I mean, when you go from like pseudo metal, like Limp Bizkit metal stuff, I don't know what Limp Bizkit's classified as anymore. But when you go from that kind of hard rock to uh, like country, and then into rap a little bit, and then back into country pop rock, and you're doing duets with Sheryl Crow and doing horrible double samples of like what was it? Sweet Home Alabama and Werewolves of London. It's like, what? Oh man. See, I got off on a tangent there. I was trying to think of rap, and all of a sudden I'm talking about Kid Rock doing samples of country rock songs, basically. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all I can think of. Oh, I found a witch hut, apparently. um, I can't even think of a modern day rapper, like in the last 10 years, or 5 years anyway, that has made it big. The only thing I can think of is maybe. Nope, that wasn't 5 years ago. I was gonna say Little Flip, but that's not right. It was like 2002. Um, the game. I was really into the game for a while. Um, Missy Elliott is usually pretty good, but yeah, it'd be a lot easier to tell you what metal and dance music I'm into, because that's predominantly what my iPod is covered with. There's like heavy house and trance rotation, and then there's heavy metal, symphonic metal, stuff like Slayer, and then Epica, kind of balancing each other out. And then I have oldies because I was raised by a 40-year-old from the time I was born, what they call a baby boomer. So I know a lot of those songs from the 60s by heart at this point, and which made the resurgence of oldies, like people getting into stuff like the Beatles, my generation getting into stuff like the Beatles, really funny to me. I was like, I've known these songs my whole life. Why are you just now getting into them? But so I was like an accidental hipster, I guess is what I'm trying to say. What else? I don't have many country songs. Most of the country I have is because I have like super respect for the artist, which means like Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson. um, Either that or it's a Christmas song. So I think I have maybe 2 Taylor Swift songs, but I consider her pop more than country, especially those songs. I think it was Our Song and Teardrops on My Guitar or something like that. And Teardrops was free because it was the iTunes single of the week. And Our Song was just like a huge explosion of popularity whenever it came out, so got that too. I could probably sing all the words if I heard the tune to it, and that comes from 18 months of working at a place that had a radio station on that played Taylor Swift every hour on the hour. and Carrie Underwood too, which was just the worst. Um, and then a lot of video game soundtracks, and that's pretty much my iPod. Like I've got 1,800 songs, which isn't that much, I realize, but considering probably 1,700, 1,600, we'll say 1,600 to be uh, realistic, I guess. 1,600 were paid for, and the 200 would be the video game soundtracks that I downloaded because they weren't available, traditional or digitally or whatever. They weren't available, commercially available. That's what it was. So I think that's a lot of songs. And there's some stuff I got from SoundCloud too that was free. Like I've got maybe 4 remixes now that were done for like a radio station to play, usually BBC One or something like that. And it's just an hour-long remix of that particular DJ's hits and some of their best remixes and stuff. So I've got 4 of those, and 2 of them are 2 hours long. So, and a lot of songs tend to be like 8 minutes, 10 minutes long on my iPod. So I've got like 8 days. It says I have 8 days length in music or something like that. But I only have 1,800 songs or something like that. So maybe sometime I'll just scroll through my iTunes library if anybody's interested, and you can see what kind of stuff I'm into. A lot of 90s pop stuff, just because that's what I grew up on. I think that's gonna about do it. I think, yeah, we're coming up on 5 minutes left in the episode. Talked about music for like 15 minutes straight. I don't know how I want to end this. I guess maybe I'll talk about movies next time, but music was a pretty early love in my life. My father was a musician, and my mom had music going all the time. So I grew up in a very musical house. I played the cello. Well, I took piano lessons, first of all, and I hated them because I thought our teacher was a complete jerk. That was me dancing again. Yeah, she was just completely insufferable. Like, in that you're not doing that right because you're stupid kind of way. And so I quit that as soon as I could, which was pretty much, uh, sadly enough, one of the many things I cried my way out of after my father passed away was piano lessons, because the excuse was that it reminded me of him, but really I just freaking hated that chick. Hated that teacher. I wanted to go into drums originally, but my dad talked me into going into cello. And I played cello in 5th and 6th grade. And in 6th grade, I was a soulless shell of a person, basically. I couldn't care less if I lived or died, and I often prayed for death every day, because that was the year after my dad died. But, and that's when a bunch of crazy stuff happened, like Columbine, and then all of a sudden my family was going to Europe, and then, and then the World Trade Center happened, and now I'm going to LA in Canada in the same summer, and my life was really crazy for like 5 years. And yeah, that's pretty much a big summary of my years from 98 to 2003. A very short summary. I mean, I could go. One of these episodes will probably be about travel, just because I went so many places before I was even 18 that it blows my mind and a lot of people's minds when I tell them that I did all that before I was 18. Especially considering I live in an area where some people don't leave the state until they're 15 or 16, even though we're 20 minutes away from Oklahoma. So, yeah. I mean, I still know people. I know people who are like 60 who've never been out of the country. So, for me to have been to 9 different countries before I was 18 was just amazing. And I'm incredibly thankful for it. I was very jaded and disillusioned during the trip, and for many years after that, just because I was in a mode of what does it matter? Very nihilistic and apathetic. That's pretty much my personal life during high school. Social life was okay, but that'll have to be for another time. I'm pouring my guts out for you guys. If you've got any interesting questions or comments, be sure to leave them. Leave a like. Tell your friends. Subscribe. Favorite. Think positive thoughts, as always. And, I found that this was a weird glitch. I don't know if it's still doing it, but in this mode with F1, I was right-clicking to block with my sword, but it kept bringing up my inventory, so I don't know if that's a glitch on the game or on my Mac. But this is me dancing. I don't remember what music it was. Probably not Cat Daddy. um, Probably not Teach Me How to Dougie. So this is P.O.D. 7 signing out.